Whoa, an impromptu video. How you doing, fellas and ladies? Welcome, welcome. Today I didn't feel like gathering, or rather this morning I didn't feel like gathering, so we're gonna do a little bit of Palace of the Dead. Palace of the Dead, for those who don't play Final Fantasy, is basically... God, I have no enthusiasm. Jeez, fuck, hold on. Alright, Palace of the Dead is basically, for those who don't know, it's got its own... It's basically like an easy way to level in this game. You level alternate classes, like this is a level 48 Bard. You know, I can play music and what have you. But, essentially it's got its own leveling system, so the levels that you see in the dungeon do not reflect your current level out of the dungeon in the real game. But what it does at the end of every 10 levels, or floors, you fight a boss. After you kill that boss, you get a bunch of XP. And the strategy is to just grind floors 51 and 60 over and over again, until you get to max level. There you go. Sorry, my brain's a little kerfluffled right now. There we go. But yeah, that's that. I just thought I'd do another one of these, rather than just gather the whole time. Just AFK fish, you know. I thought it might be a little bit more engaging. You know, you can see the game in action rather than just see somebody fishing. And then not only do you see somebody fishing when I do it, you don't even see what they catch because I have the UI off. I gotta fix that. Oh well. I'm excited. Actually, speaking of fishing, I'm excited for what's to come for fishing. Apparently, we're getting harpoon fishing, where we're gonna be able to be in the ocean with a frickin' spear, just stabbing things. So fishing's gonna be getting an upgrade. That's pretty exciting. Wonder if they're gonna do something new with the other current gathering methods, which is mining and botany. We'll see. Maybe they'll let us start mining mountains away and mining with our fist, or karate chopping trees down. Wacha! Could be interesting. Let's see. What's going on with you guys? How you guys doing? Doing great. Finally on a sleep schedule where I get a good amount of sleep rather than just 3 hours of sleep every night. Getting like 7 or 8 now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I feel good. I had a good day at work yesterday because I had so much energy, which I wasn't used to. So that was pretty fortunate. Let's talk about Bard. Let's talk about what I'm playing right now, yeah? Let's discuss this excitement. Bard, I didn't think I would like this class as much as I'm liking it. I'm actually, now that I'm playing it, I'm excited to see where it's gonna go for the next expansion. I want to see how the songs actually fit into the damage rotation, because the songs right now, I'll show you. There's Mage's Ballad, which restores mana. There is Army's Paeon, which restores TP, which is this yellow bar and this bar right here. TP is essentially what melee classes use to attack with. It's their energy. I don't know what TP actually stands for. Taxing points? I have no idea. Total points. You got me. But, yeah. And so we can restore that. And then we've got Foe's Requiem, which, reduces the enemy's magic vulnerability by 10%. So if, like, say black mages or summoners, you know, magic damage dealing classes just effectively deal more damage because of us being in the party. And we can activate those whenever we want, so long as we have the mana to sustain the songs. And we have this much, 6,935 mana to continue playing songs. So, but there's no point in playing it now because there are no magic classes here. And as you can see, there are traps in this dungeon that can turn you into things or debuff you, and I've been turned into a frog for 14 seconds. Anyway, back to Bard. Sorry, lost my train of thought while trying to help that guy. But yeah, their songs are getting a change to where they are no longer necessarily sustained music, or rather, yeah, they are sustained, but they aren't. Their effects are changing. Like I believe Army's Paeon, this one is going to be the best one to use just as standard damage, because it increases your crit by like 4% and goes up every time you or another party. I think it might be just you actually. Every time you crit, so it increases in percent chance for crit and increases your attack speed. So you start to attack like a fast like a monk would, and I imagine that's going to get pretty ridiculous, and that's going to be really interesting for them. And Army Foe's Requiem actually like the best one to use right now. It's actually getting kind of strange. It's still kind of cool. It debuffs enemies and increases the damage they do by 3%, which I guess is good. It's not that big of a damage reduction, so it doesn't seem like it'd be that useful. I'd say I'd say they should up it to at least like 5%. You know, make it a flat 5. That 2% does make the difference, and you know, it seems generally more useful than 3%. Although I believe it still has the same effect. However, to get the effects, you have to. I don't remember what the skill is called. I think it's like a Troblador or fuck. It's a fire emblem class. Troubadour. I think it is. You look it up. It activates like the special ability of the song, and for Warden's Paeon, or Army's Paeon, excuse me, the TP one, it will increase their it will increase the physical vulnerability of the target by 10%. Foe's Requiem will still do magic vulnerability, and Mage's Ballad. Actually, I think Mage's Ballad is now magic vulnerability, and I don't remember what Foe's Requiem does. Probably does something exciting. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Pretty darn interesting. But I think that's the only other class I'm excited for besides Samurai, honestly. I don't know why. Like, you think I'd be excited about my main class, or at least my current main class, which is Black Mage, but you'd be dead wrong, actually. Black Mage doesn't look like it's getting anything too terribly exciting, and I'm not going to be playing a caster anymore, so that's going to be nice. I mean, unless I'm needed to play Red Mage, which it looks easy. I don't want to play Red Mage. It looks overpowered, and honestly, that's not what I'm about, dude. I don't want to play an OP class, and just because it's easy. Like, I don't know. The only reason I say it looks easy to me is because I'm a caster inherently. Like in every game I've played, I've been a caster, whether it be healing or damage. And honestly, it's just boring after a while, you know. Because once you learn the secret to casting, which is basically just positioning, and then finding out where to blow your load on, you know, you get to a point where you're just standing still most fights, and as fun as that is, it's also fucking not. That's why classes like Monk, I'm starting to play a lot more now, because I'm getting more into the mindset of being a melee, being up close and personal, and constantly having to react to mechanics, and while dealing with my abilities that are in fact positionals. So I have to be on a certain side of the boss to deal a certain amount of damage. So there's that. There's definitely more to it in the melee scene. There's definitely more options. That's for darn sure. Like, you can just see on the right side of my screen. Oh, once you get out of the loading screen, just how many casting classes there really are. I think there's only 3, and actually no. Yeah, there are 3. There is Black Mage, Summoner. Actually, no, I think there's only 2. Never mind. Black Mage, Summoner, and then the rest of the magic casters are healers. And, well, technically Dark Knight does deal magic damage, but they're not a caster, so they're still melee. And I guess to a degree, due to Heavensward, but this will be changing in the next expansion, so this will become null and void in like 10 days or so when early access starts. There will be, or rather the Machinists, my PPP, and Bard, they're casters currently because of something called Wanderer's Minuet, and for Machinists it's called Gauss Barrel. It makes their abilities have cast times, but the what you gain from that is 30% more damage, just flat 30%. Which, honestly, I think what they should have done is just buff all of their abilities by a solid 20% margin, and I don't think they need it, and give them attack speed buffs rather than hinder their attack speed and turn them into casters. Because for a lot of people, the appeal of the Bard or the Machinist was the freedom to move, the ability to go at your own pace, or rather not go at your own pace, but to be able to cast, attack, and dodge mechanics at the same time. The only thing hindering you being the global cooldown. But that's not the case anymore. With casting, they very much, I wouldn't say they're immobile, because their cast times are only like 1 to 2 seconds, whereas Black Mages are still solid 3 seconds, 4 if you're a good Black Mage. Actually, it does matter being a good Black Mage. 4 if you like to cast Fire 4, which is your strongest ability. But it's still pretty significant. I'm sure you can see it here once we start getting in a fight. Just how significant it can be. Just watch the bottom of the screen. You'll see me casting Straight Shot, casting my Dot Wind Bite, Venomous Bite, Imperial Arrow. Now the beauty of this class, though, and what I'm enjoying about it, is the Bloodletter ability. Because what we have is a passive that makes these things, our damage over time spells, our Venomous Bite and Wind Bite. They do, if they crit, they have a percent chance. Is it a percent chance? Yeah, 50% chance that they will reset this cooldown on this spell. So theoretically, if I got lucky, I could continuously spam Bloodletter over and over again since it's off the global cooldown. I could weave it in between every single spell I have. And that's incredibly powerful. And the beauty of it is we get this ability called Straight Shot, which after we cast it, we get a buff that increases our critical hit rate by 10% for 20 seconds. And we can refresh this as much as we want, whenever we want. Speaking of refresh, we can refresh our damage over time spells. So if we have like really strong dots on the boss, we can keep them up the entire fight so long as we can see the boss. All we have to do is cast Iron Jaws, and it resets both of my damage over time spells. It does not reset the damage over time spell Rain of Death, but that is not as effective, and it does not reset the cooldown, so it's not necessary. It's not necessary to have up all the time. At least I don't think. It does lower their evasion, so I guess it would help those with less accuracy. The 100 potency. Wait, no. Oh no, it doesn't. I thought it was. I thought it was a damage over time spell. I'm stupid. No. My mistake. Look at me messing up, man. But yeah, they look pretty good. Pretty excited. I want to get to class to 60, max level, so that I can play the Heavensward version before the expansion hits, and it becomes a totally different class. And I really just want to do some endgame stuff with it, not endgame stuff, but like, no, yeah, it is endgame. I want to do the current hardest trial, which is Zurvan, excuse me. And I want to see how it plays, see how it functions. I want to be able to see if I can make the top of the damage meters with this class, because it seems like it has I honestly, I don't want to say it has the potential because I don't think it does. Because I've never seen a bard at the top doing the most damage in any raid I've ever seen. They're decent supports, but honestly, at the moment, that's all they've got going for them. They every other class generally has a pretty consistent rotation that they can keep to, but this one's pretty RNG based, similar to Machinist. However, I believe the difference is this one doesn't have all of the off global cooldowns that Machinist has, and it makes it consistent, or it makes it less consistent than in damage than any other class would be, honestly, because all they would have is their. Well, now that I'm thinking on it, I guess they're kind of like summoners in that regard. The difference being summoners have more damage over time spells, 2 more damage over time spells, and those pay off in a major way. So, and they can also increase the length of their damage over time spells. I don't know. Honestly, it's a tough call. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But for now, I think it's best to just interested to see where it takes us, you know? Honestly, I don't know what I'm saying actually. I just want to say honestly. Let's see. What class? Oh yeah. Excuse me, stretching. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so some of the let's go through. Oh, okay. Let me ask you guys this, so I don't ramble. Let me know if you guys want to see any of that end game content. Not end game content. It is end game. Why do I keep correcting myself? Any of the end game trials that I talked about in the last Gatherers video, which are basically just boss fights, and I'll record some. I'll record some of my favorites. I'll do Sephiroth. I'll do and that's Sephiroth, not Roth. Okay, big distinction there. They're 2 different characters. And I'll record him. I'll do Zervan. I'll do Shiva. I'll do any you want. I'm definitely gonna record some of the new ones that come out. I'm gonna show these. I'm gonna show these fogies how it's done. And yeah, it'll be a good time. Let's see. Let's just go through some of the classes I have over here. I've obviously got my they all, oh, by the way, they all have like there are all these classes. I could rename them in the class tree, or rather I could name the class the armor set name. So I have done that because I'm an idiot, and I've renamed my miner to a hole smasher, my fisher to masturbator because I'm an adult. And sting like a bee is my ninja. Wow, he pulled it out of range. My monk is hearts on fire, strong desire. My summoner is aptly named Deathflare because that's the only spell they have. Machinist is pew pew pew. My dragoon is dragon fetish because we all know. We all know. One sec, I gotta burst. There we go. No big deal. Just like 40% of the boss's health in like 1 second. Classic bard. Oh, and that's the end of the dungeon. That was the boss. But I'll continue explaining. I've got my concrete wrecker, which is my warrior, the axe guy that you just saw there. Got my paladin, which is a holy bastard. Say my name. You'll understand that when I show you Sephiroth, but that is my dark knight. It can also be used as a Batman reference, I think. And then I got Girl Stars, which is my Astrologian. And then I've got White Power, because White Mage. Don't judge me. And then I've got fucking Fairy, because that is my Scholar, who uses a Fairy to heal. And he's also a fucking Fairy. But yeah, those are all the classes, except for Paladin, that I have. I have all those classes to max level. I don't have my botany dick joke to level 60 yet. We'll get there, one level away. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But yeah, that was Palace of the Dead. Nice for you guys to join us. I hope you guys enjoyed that 10-minute conversation on bards. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.